Once upon a time, in a sun-baked village, there lived a clever crow. His feathers were glossy black, glistening under the sun, and his eyes sparkled with curiosity. The village was nestled at the edge of a dense forest, surrounded by fields of golden wheat and patches of bright wildflowers. The villagers went about their daily routines, tending to their crops and livestock, while the crow watched them from the branches of a tall, gnarled tree. As the days passed, the sun grew hotter, and the villagers began to worry. A drought had set in, leaving the wells dry and the rivers reduced to mere trickles. The once lush fields began to wilt, and the villagers' voices turned anxious as they struggled to find water. Among them was a young girl named Maya, known for her kindness and love for animals. Every day, she would bring scraps of food to the crow, who had grown accustomed to her gentle presence. One particularly scorching afternoon, the crow flew over the parched village in search of water. He flapped his wings desperately, scanning the ground below. Just as he was about to give up, he spotted a small clay pot near Maya's house. His heart leaped with hope. He swooped down, landing gracefully beside the pot. Peering inside, the crow's heart sank. The pot contained only a few inches of water, far too little for a thirsty bird. Determined not to give in to despair, he racked his brain for a solution. Suddenly, he remembered a story his mother had told him. He glanced around and noticed small pebbles scattered across the ground. An idea sparked in his mind. The crow picked up one pebble with his beak and dropped it into the pot. He watched as the water level rose slightly. Excited by the small success, he quickly grabbed another pebble and dropped it in. With each pebble, the water rose higher and higher. As he worked, Maya watched from her window, her eyes wide with wonder. She had always known crows to be clever, but never had she seen one so determined. The crow continued to drop pebbles into the pot, each splash of water reigniting his hope. Finally, after several trips, the water reached the brim of the pot. With a joyful caw, the crow leaned down and drank deeply from the pot. The cool water soothed his parched throat and refreshed his spirit. He felt invigorated, ready to take on the challenges ahead. As he drank, Maya clapped her hands in delight. The crow looked up and, for the first time, met her gaze. "Thank you for sharing your treasure with me," he croaked, surprising even himself with his newfound ability to speak. Maya gasped, her eyes widening in disbelief. "You can talk," she exclaimed. "Yes, and I owe it to your kindness," the crow replied, his voice steady. "In this time of need, I found a way to quench my thirst, just as you care for the animals." Maya knelt beside the pot, her heart filled with admiration for the clever crow. "I've always believed animals are wiser than we think," she said. "You've shown me the importance of using our minds to solve problems." The crow nodded, grateful for her understanding. Every creature has its own way of overcoming challenges. I hope to inspire others to think creatively, just as you have inspired me. As the days went by, word spread through the village about the clever crow. The villagers, once consumed by worry, began to gather around the pot.